Hi, friends. Welcome back. This is our third episode for the Trial of the Sun Queen series. This third book is called Fate of the Sun King. Let's just start off with let's start with the title. Okay, first of all, I had a little note about this title. Um, I don't understand why she chose this title because I get that there are things that happen in this book regarding the Sun King specifically, or rather, Sun Kings, plural, but it for sure is like not the sole purpose of this book.
So I felt the same way about Rule of the Aurora King. He wasn't really the title of the second book. The Aurora King wasn't really the focus of that book either. Like he was in about 10 minutes of it, really.
Like, I understand that one a little bit more because he had his point of view in that book.
Did he?
Yeah. But the Aurora Prince, not the king, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's what I
Like
mean.
it should have been really should have been the Aurora Prince.
Yeah. But like that's what I mean. Like Ryan was in
Yeah.
Rule of the Aurora King less than Tyr was in Fate of the Sun King.
Yeah.
So like we're it does kind of give us an explanation to one of the questions that we posed in the last episode that was about what happened to Tyr because like from at the beginning we believe that Atlas is the Sun King from the first book. But now in the second book, we're introduced to his older brother, who is the primary, and then we go back to the first book, and Tyr is nowhere to be seen. So we do find out what the fate of the Sun King was. He is still alive, just imprisoned.
Yeah. Like it just I think she could have thought about it a little bit more.
Okay.
I don't know. I just thought the title of this book was just odd to me. Um the book overall for me was not the greatest. Like, I really enjoyed the first book. It gave us adventure, it gave us wittiness, it was exciting, it gave us mystery. And then the second book was less, but there was still some traveling and like some mystery. And then there was this book, and it took me so long to read it. I don't like more than like one or two point of views. I've come to realize that.
Yeah.
And there were so many in this book. And it just keeps flip flopping between like the past and the present.
Yeah, I found this one like I know you didn't like the flip-flopping with the past and the present with the former Sun Queen or the former Heart Queen,
Yeah.
her point of view. I I didn't mind that one in the second book. In this book, I it didn't make sense to me. Like I these are ancient beings, like long, long dead, most of them, um, who were one became a god, kind of like
Like it was essentially the story of Zira, which is like
yeah,
who they are always praying to.
yeah,
And like it was the ancestors of all of the current
monarchs.
monarchs, but it was like there are three generations that this writer is wanting us to remember.
At least.
And I'm like, she doesn't even get like provide us with like a family tree in this book.
Yeah, that would be
That's
useful.
so useful. She gives us a map and they don't
There,
even go
there's a
anywhere.
glossary. There is a glossary of names in this book. I don't know if it was in the other two, but
No,
I did
no,
notice
yeah,
that
it is
in
in this
here.
book.
But yeah, it shows the story of Zara, how she went from being a normal fae, she was the queen of this of Aphelion, and how she went from being that to a deity of some form,
Yeah.
omnipotent being. And the fact that there's beings over her that kind of Yeah, that was.
It just is so, I don't know.
We did also learn through that about the creation of the arcs, which are briefly mentioned, I think, in both the first two books.
Yeah, it is brief.
Very, very briefly mentioned, and it's a much more significant part of this book. We learned that the arcs were created by the first Aurora King, to weaken Sarah or destroy her because he was jealous as fuck.
Yeah. Essentially, like during this like past like storytelling, the ancient beings or whatever like brought all of the monarch people to this circle and was like, I'm gonna send you all back with
The power to control your area, essentially.
they gave them artifacts.
Oh, they gave them the artifacts.
The artifacts in order to control their magic, but one of you needs to stay behind and
relinquish your power.
And at this time, it was the king of the Aurora King.
I don't remember any of their names. It's been a month and a half since I finished this book. I barely remembered the present day characters.
I know
that were important.
Like there's just so many of them. So at this point, that Aurora King was like, I'm gonna be in charge. Like I'll stay up here forever. And the ancient beings were just like, nope, not you.
We choose her. We choose Sarah because she's a shit queen.
Essentially. And then they were like, who do you want to take your place?
And my butler, essentially.
Yeah. So
my advisor.
Long story short, that's what happened. So then that king went back down to their planet or Earth or whatever and was digging in the mines, found this like magical rock.
It's the stone that the Aurora Castle is made out of as well. And it's damaging to Zara.
Yeah. Do you think, now in the book near the end, it does state that he made 6 of the arcs, but not 7. Do you think because the castle is considered maybe one of the arcs?
I would say so, probably, that there wasn't a Aurora arc.
Yeah. There was a short time when I was reading this book that I thought maybe the arc was her sister.
Okay.
Like for a short time.
That it wasn't a physical thing.
Yeah.
That it was something that was inherited by another member of the royal family.
Because we learned that she is the Heart Queen.
Yes.
Her brother
Tristan is the primary of the Woodlands.
So I was like, okay, well, there's still another sibling. What's her role in this story?
I mean, she has significantly less magic than either of her siblings. We learned that in the second book.
But she's very clever.
She is very clever, and I'm so glad that we got to see her being a more significant character in this book.
I do too.
In this one, Willow, she stands up for herself.
Yeah, she does.
I loved that she stood up for herself. I didn't love that it was against war. That she was like, I never asked you to sleep with the guards to protect me. I never asked for you to protect me.
Yeah.
I am your older sister. I'm supposed to be protecting you.
Yeah.
To Lore, and that causes quite an altercation, where they're not really speaking for a little while. So I didn't really love that her standing up for herself was at the expense of Lore.
Yeah.
But I did love that she stood up for herself at all.
Yeah.
Because she becomes a significant part of their plan to get back into the Sun Palace.
Yeah, because if you remember from the second book, the mirror told Lore, I have something for you, but you basically need to
find the crown
first. Find the crown and then come back to me. So let's just jump back a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, because the first few chapters we jump right into, so this book has a lot of different point of views, and one of the new point of views in this one was Gabriel.
Yes. I did not like the audiobook narrator for who voiced Gabriel.
Yeah, you said that.
But
Yeah. But Gabriel is the head warder of the Sun King.
yes. And if you remember from book one, he was the warder chosen to protect Lore
Yes.
during the trials.
Yes. So he is the only warder as well who is allowed into this secret tower.
It's not that he's the only one allowed. He's the only one that's
Willing.
willing.
Yes.
Because the others are too ashamed of their actions, essentially.
So in these first few chapters, we learn that the Sun King, Atlas, isn't
not the Sun
actually the
King.
Sun King. Yeah. And that his older brother is still alive. And there is like a section in the book that explains how he got there, but it still doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. So essentially, what happened was after Atlas and Tyr's father died, Atlas and Tyr ruled together for a short time, though Tyr was the Sun King. Um, and then Atlas decided that no, I don't want to be second fiddle anymore. And I don't know, I can't remember how, but he somehow managed to capture his brother, lock him in cuffs, and then fake his death.
Exactly. And that's where I'm like, they don't really explain it. I'm like, how did he capture him?
Yeah.
How did he keep him in these magical cuffs for so long? How did he fake a death that literally nobody knows that he's alive anymore?
Yeah, and like it also like they also say that because the Sun King is the only one who can control or who can order the warders to do anything, and they have to follow the Sun King's orders. Like it physically causes them pain to the point where they could die if they break their orders. However, Atlas made Tyr order the warders to listen to him.
Which doesn't make sense. Like, this book, it is called, what is it
Fate
called?
of the Sun King.
Fate of the Sun King. And, like, the first, like, 5 chapters is all about, like, Tyr and the castle and, like, how he got locked up. And then we literally don't really hear anything else about his further involvement of the story until the very, very end.
Yeah.
Yes, there's, like, a few, like, snippets in the book of, like, Gabriel visiting him.
Yeah.
But, like, how do you go from being a shell of a person because of these magical cuffs, like, sucking his energy away, and, like, Atlas, like, telling him to be, like, make sure these warders are following my order? What is he threatening him with?
Well, I think it was that, if I remember correctly, he was threatening Tyr with causing pain to Gabriel and the other warders, but specifically Gabriel, which I think is because Gabriel and Tyr are in love with each other.
Oh, they absolutely are.
But
They absolutely are. But then we jump, like, we're going to jump to the end of the book now because basically this is their story. So jumping to the end of the book, Gabriel, like, storms in and needs to talk to the head of the rebellion. Mm-hmm. His name is Aravan, I think.
I have him listed on my notes as Atlas and Tyr's cousin.
That is literally the only thing we get to know about this man, is that he's the rebellion.
Cousin, and I suspect he is the proper primary of Aphelion.
The next one, you mean?
And I think because we are told that Tyr told Atlas that Atlas was not the primary.
Right. So after Tyr, you think Aravan is...
Yes.
Okay, that's what I meant.
Yes. He is the next
Which
Sun
makes
King
sense.
after Tyr.
But, like, we are missing a huge piece here. Literally after Gabriel goes in to talk to Aravan, the chapter ends.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we're at the castle and they just appear in the middle of a crowd during
They come out of
what is it called?
During
The presentation.
the presentation of the new Sun Queen. Oh my God. I hate her.
She's so annoying.
She's so annoying. I hated her in book one.
Yeah. But how did they just appear? Like, how did it take this long for Gabriel to just be like, we're
Nope.
gonna fly out of the tower? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah, it's
And why did you need Aravan? Like, where is the storyline of setting him free? You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it was like Atlas like storming towards Tyr, being like, "You're gonna regret this." No, no, no,
Yeah.
no.
So what happened? Like the question is, what happened to Tyr or not Tyr? What happened to Atlas after that? Because there is more to the book after Tyr shows up,
Yeah.
but it has nothing to do with the Sun Court.
No. Like this part of the story just doesn't make any sense to me. It's so up in the air that like unless you read the book and understand like what we're talking about, we're just like, I don't know. I don't know. The ending of this book was so odd.
This episode is going to be a mess. Just so
It
we
already
apologize for that. We're going to be jumping around a lot.
Since we talked about Aravan, the leader of the rebellion in the Sun Kingdom, although you don't actually get to know him that well, we all know that he is the king's cousin.
He is the king's cousin, and he is responsible for several attacks on the king's men throughout the series.
And
Whether we actually see them or not, that's neither here nor there. We do see one attack where he is attacking the king's men in the Umbra. Um, and I believe it is because he has a hatred for Atlas, or Atlas's rule,
yeah,
rather.
this is another storyline that could have been much better. Like, it's just like, great, there's a rebellion. That's it. That's the end. Like,
It could have been expanded on so much.
like there's so many other like storylines in this book because it just keeps jumping to the past and jumping to this person and that person and this person and that person
Yeah.
that I'm just like, there could have been so much more to this book. The whole like middle section of this book took so much longer than it needed to, and the body of this book was one of two things. It was the story of the first of Ouranos coming to an end and going into the second stage, or it was the story of Lore trying to get her magic and them just squatting in
Not in the Umbra, they're outside of the Umbra, but in Aphelion. I mean, there are a couple other things that happen with Lore and Tristan specifically, and Nadir, during the first kind of third of this book. So they go to the Heart settlements,
yeah.
at the beginning of this book, because they are looking for more information about their grandmother. They're looking for anything they can find out about her. And they do meet someone who is significant. They meet their grandmother's cousin, who we were introduced to in the second book during those flashbacks. Um, she was not at she was not in Heart when the destruction happened, and that is how she is still alive. And through the conversation that Lore has with her, um, Lore finds out about her grandparents being mates and what it meant for them to be mates and how it looked and all that fun stuff. And then Lore's kidnapped. Um, I think it's meant to be Ryan's men. I don't think it's ever actually clearly said that it is his men, but we're meant to think that. And we get to see the first actual evidence of Lore and Nadir being mates when they speak to each other, or Lore calls to Nadir through telepathy, which is something that only some mates can do.
Yeah.
So they are able to communicate, or like I said, Lore calls out to Nadir, and Nadir is able to find her through this. Um, it's Lore doesn't really, at this point, she still doesn't think that they are mates. Nadir has known the whole time. Like, I think he even says he's known since they met.
I mean, Nadir is supposed to be like quite old, right?
Yeah, because he was a baby 263 years ago when the destruction happened.
So he should know
What mates are.
yeah.
And he grew up in the Fey world, where
Yeah.
she was raised more, or no, she wasn't. But she was raised around very few people.
Yeah.
With
First it was a forest and then it was a prison.
yeah, with no outside influence of books and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then they go to the woodlands. They're kind of captured, but they go to the woodlands. At first, when they got there, I thought the king and queen of the woodlands wanted something from Tristan and Lore, or they meant them harm. But they are like the sweetest people on the planet, and they just want to know their great niece and great nephew.
Yeah. Like I see the point in I hope there is more to them in the fourth book because I feel like there's so many unanswered or unfinished storylines, and this is one of them. Because Tristan, this is where we find out about Tristan, and
Though this isn't where Tristan finds out about Tristan.
right, but I feel like there's got to be something more to this than her just being like, oh, I have family.
Yeah.
Yay.
I mean, like, they did swear to support her. So I suspect that I definitely think we will see more of them in the last book. I definitely think there will be a battle. I don't know who all will be on what side, but I do know the Woodlands will be on Hearts.
I'm ready for a good battle. I'm ready.
And then the last major sequence of events is their time in Aphelion. And like you said, they were squatting.
They
most
were
of the time.
they were
They were
squatting.
squatting and planning and not planning and all sorts of stuff.
They were like trying to learn her magic as best as possible.
Yeah, they were training. Lore and Tristan were training with their magic. Nadir was helping them, but
It
Lore
just
wasn't
took
gotten
so
very.
long. It dragged on and on and on. And I know there are things within the chapters that like make sense in order to keep going. For instance, we talked about the arcs earlier, and one of the major people that we didn't talk about that wants this arc specifically is the
I have her listed as Madame Payne. I can't remember what her actual first name was, but she was the mistress of she ran the Mistress of Pain brothel.
yeah, she was like a goddess to
Priestess.
oh, priestess.
She was a high priestess of Zara.
Yeah.
And she was the high priestess of Zara who was there during the destruction of Heart.
And we learned that in the first book, I think it was, that was the old lady that Lore met in the woods, and she burned.
No, that wasn't in the books. That wasn't in the earlier books. That was a memory that she had, and that her and Tristan had kept secret from when Lore
that
was a
was
child.
her.
Yes, she had shown up and tried to kidnap Lore when Lore was a small child.
Was it in the first book?
No, it was just in this book that we learned about it.
It was in this book.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because then she was like, wait, she looks familiar.
Yeah.
She saw her like in the streets or something.
Yeah, she saw her randomly in the streets, and then they
Followed
go
her.
into the brothel, and she's like, "Yeah, you are the woman that tried to kill me, or tried to kidnap me, and I thought I killed you."
Right. And she's like, what do you want?
So
I want the arc, just like everybody else.
we also find out that she is the one that has been telling everybody who Lore is. She told Ryan, and that's why Ryan killed her parents and imprisoned her. We find out that she was the one that told Atlas, and that's why she was taken for the Sun Trials.
Yep.
So she's doing this because she wants like you said, she wants the arcs, and she is trying to get the Arc of Heart. That one specifically. Though they realize when they break into the castle, they find or they see the Ark of Aphelion as well
She
in Atlas's office or
she
something.
didn't she was meeting him. She was meeting him in his study. And while she was standing there at the bookshelf, she saw this like statue of Zara with the mirror. And then
Yes.
she was like, "Is this the Ark?"
That's the arc. That's another arc that I've been looking for.
And she said, "Well, obviously my sister priestess didn't get here and didn't get this." She's like, "I'll need to come back for that." The
Yeah.
whole purpose of them getting these arcs is because Zira wants them to destroy them because
Because they are destroying
they are
her.
destroying her.
Yeah. Um, so then we get to the attack on the castle, or the infiltration of the castle. And so Willow infiltrates the castle at first, and
Yeah.
she goes undercover as one of Aprisha's handmaids. Like I said, I hate Aprisha. Love Willow. She does well. She manages to get them a map so that they can get in and out and no problem.
Yeah.
They just need to cause a distraction.
And she's also part of that.
Yeah, she's part of that as well. And that's where the cousin and Tyr and Gabriel come in and they all cause chaos at the presentation
Somehow.
somehow. And then Nadir and Lore get into the castle.
Yeah.
And I think Amia and others as well.
They get
Kylene and they all get into the castle and they're all defending. But Lore ends up getting back to the Sun Mirror and speaking to the Sun Mirror again. And the Sun Mirror did have something for her. The Sun Mirror, don't know how, but that's not.
the Sun Mirror was like, "We've been keeping this for you."
Yeah.
But I'm
The
like,
Sun Mirror
why
has the arc.
why couldn't the Sun Mirror just give her this the first time? Why did she have to have the crown?
I don't know. Maybe I was gonna say maybe because it's an artifact of the monarch, like it's supposed to go to the monarch, and she's the queen. Like
I
without the
know.
crown, she's not the queen. I don't know.
But then after she gets it, her magic is released.
Yeah, her magic breaks out as soon as she touches the ark, and she's fighting off Ryan and his men, and her and Nadir run away and try and escape, but Ryan does catch them.
And he also has the arc at this point because
Yes, she drops it. She drops,
She also dropped the crown.
yes, which we don't know where that is, but we do know Ryan has the arc. Whether it helps him in any way, we don't know. Like if it increases his power.
It seemed that in the book, when she used her power, he could like soak it in. So it was like taking her power because there was a section in like one of the last little bits there where when she was using her power on Ryan, the arc was like absorbing it.
Okay.
So
I don't remember that part. But okay. You finished this book much more recently than I did. So
last night.
so he gets the arc. Her power, while her power has been released and she now has access to her power, it's not as strong as it was when she was holding the arc.
She also doesn't know how to control
Yeah,
it.
she doesn't know how to control it because it's been locked up for so long.
Yeah.
And even before, she had very little, like when she was a child, she had very little control over her magic.
She wasn't allowed to use it because it would, bring attention.
Yeah, exactly.
But while they're running, Ryan.
Ryan makes a comment
Yeah.
that is like, what does this mean?
And it's repeated a few times because Lore keeps asking
Nadir?
Nadir the question and he's evading it.
So Ryan says something along the lines of, "Thank you, Nadir, for showing me where she is, or for
Yes.
telling me where she is," or something like that. And it's like, how did that happen? Because Nadir, one, as far as we know, he hasn't been in contact with his father at all for this last book. Two, Nadir hates his father.
That being said, there were times when Nadir would leave the house by himself.
That is true. That is true. So it's like, how is
Here's a thought that I had this morning while I was rethinking about things. I'm wondering if the ending wasn't an illusion.
possibly?
Do you remember during the trials?
Yeah. Atlas could do illusions. Like he created an illusion
What if
for.
the ending is somewhat of an illusion?
I don't think so, but it's possible. I I think I I personally don't think that Nadir actually told Ryan where Lore is. I think Ryan was somehow tracking them by a person, like that maybe there's somebody in their circle that Ryan is, that
Hmm.
Nadir has let into their circle, that Ryan is getting information from, or something magical. I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
But I don't think Nadir actually told his father, "We are going to be at the Sun Palace" during the presentation.
I don't know. When I read books like this, I try to not sway one way or the other because I don't want my heart broken.
Well, that's heartbroken is the perfect word, because when Lore spoke to the Torch, the Aurora Torch, in the second book, the Torch tells Lore that her love, or loving Nadir, or whatever it is, will only end in heartbreak.
Yeah.
Heartbreak and ruin, I think it is. And so it's like, maybe he's not the good guy that I want him to be, because he is kind of a crappy.
I think is it called maybe a double standard here? Like
Yeah.
I think there might be a double standard here. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's kind of curious, but Lore manages to break out of the cuffs that she's put into. She's knocked out, put into these cuffs, which are it's called Arcturite. It's a magic zapping or sapping material.
Yeah.
Um,
It's the same blue cuffs that Tyr had on him.
yes. And I think, because there is in one of Gabriel's point of view times, he talks about when he met Nadir, and they were in cuffs. They were in Arcturite cuffs at that time. And like, they were in prison, or it was during a war, and they were prisoners and something like that. So it weakens Fae, and it like stops them from using their magic. But somehow Lore was able to use her magic to break them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and her magic explodes out of her, and there's the red electricity dome thing that she did in the second book when they were fleeing the Heart Castle. Um, and she gets herself and Nadir away. And that's where the book ends.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Like as much as this book kind of annoyed me, need to read the next one.
Mhm.
There are so many unanswered questions now regarding the ending of this book. My head is just spinning. And I don't know. I'm a little excited to start the next one.
Yeah, there was one other thing that I wanted to talk to you about. It kind of going back to the flashbacks to the past. Um, Late in the book, Lore has a dream, and can't remember, she is seeing that first meeting
Oh,
in her dream.
it's when she gets knocked out by the shadows.
Is that when she's kidnapped?
When she's kidnapped at the very, very end, she's knocked out by these shadows and she goes back and she meets the ancient people that keep changing and shifting
Yeah.
into multiple people. But they are showing her the first meeting of Ouranos
Yeah.
going into the second
Second
season,
age.
the second age. And she is like, "Why am I here?" And they said,
Essentially, we want you to be the next Zara.
Zara's time has come to an end. We need someone else to take the role. Perhaps it should be a queen without a queendom. But then they also explain where the shadows come from.
I don't remember that.
And the shadows come from the rock because it is essentially like if they are considered heaven, the rock is considered like the devil. You know? So Ryan, I think, is the devil's, or I forget what they called it, but essentially the devil's advocate. So he is trying to use his own magic, but his magic is becoming evil.
Becoming twisted and corrupted and
And because he has the arc, it makes me wonder why he wants her arc specifically um, when his castle is made out of the same stuff.
yeah. I don't know that he necessarily wanted, like, yes, he wanted the arc, but I think it was more because he wanted lore.
Yeah. Or
He wanted
because
her power.
lore without it couldn't do as much damage as she could with it.
Yes.
Or
Where
there could be a storyline there where what if she does become the new Zara?
yeah.
Is she going to be the one who's going to be affected by the arcs?
Yeah.
And how would he know that?
Yeah. He wouldn't know that she's going to be the next one. And like it's kind of there's a little bit of a difference between Ryan and Atlas and why they wanted lore. Atlas or Ryan, sorry, he wanted her power
Mhm.
and or he wanted her gone. Either way, like
Yeah.
he wanted that magic or he wanted no one else to have it because then he could get her land.
Yeah, like
He could take
there's still
all of
no
her.
definitive answer as to why he wants lore.
Yes. Whereas we have a definitive answer as to why Atlas wanted lore.
Yeah.
He needs her power to boost his own
Yeah.
because he is not the Sun King. He is just a normal Fae of the royal line, but he is not in line to become king, technically.
I guess whenever you are like bound to another like primary, you can
Their
take
magic, their magic increases, but also your magic increases.
Yeah.
So we have a clear answer for why Atlas wants lore.
Yeah.
We're still like, why did Nadir or why did Ryan want lore?
So now we're in book 3 and we still don't know. So I hope book 4 clears it up. It's gotta. It's the end.
It's the last book in the series. Yeah.
Also the biggest. So I hope there's no more lulling, and I hope the past has spilled all its knowledge.
Yeah, given that there was flashbacks in both the second and third books, I suspect there will be in the fourth book as well.
Yeah.
Though I'm hoping it's more recent flashbacks, like even Lore's parents, somewhere between book one's flashbacks and the present is what I'm kind of hoping for. Even Lore's childhood.
Yeah.
Because there's still things that I don't understand about Lore's childhood.
Yeah. I just hope there's more to the book, to be honest.
Mm.
Like, yes, we're talking and there's things happening, but I have read books that where every chapter there's a twist, there's a turn, there's something that makes you want to read the next chapter.
Yeah.
Like, and this one I was like, great.
Okay.
What's next?
When are they going to actually break into the castle?
Literally.
There's like 15 chapters before they break into the castle after they've gotten to Aphelion.
15 chapters of lore, and in between there are all the chapters of everybody else. So really, there's like 30 chapters
Yeah.
of you just reading in circles.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever. You win some, you lose some. We thought this was going to be a great series. So far, it's just okay for me.
As a series, it's been good. It hasn't been great.
Yeah.
But we
It's
will
not an ACOTAR.
we will see what book four has to say. Do you have anything else you want to say?
I don't think so. Like, we talked a lot, and obviously, we didn't give you the ending of this book because if you're going to read it, we don't want to ruin it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, let's hope that you read it before you listen to the next episode because chances are we'll probably spoil it.
Yeah.
But other than that,
So some big news in the world of books that we've read. The final book in the Spark of the Everflame, the Kindred's Curse book, finally has a release date, so that's coming out in
now
September.
that's a series I've been enjoying.
Yes, I love that series. I've read all the books that are out so far, and I'm so excited for the last book to come out.
I haven't read the third one yet.
I'm so excited for the last book to come out, and we will definitely be doing another episode on the rest of that series when we've finished the last book. The 9th of September, I think it is.
Okay.
So we'll definitely be doing another episode on that series after we've finished the last book. Because I love that series.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it too.
And it is our highest viewed series. So, or highest viewed episode. So,
Yeah.
check that one out if you haven't seen it.
And I've seen it a lot more on like TikTok reviews lately too. Like I think a lot of more people are realizing that it is a really good series.
Yes, and I think especially right now because there was the announcement of the book and an announcement of the TV show that's going to be coming with it or going to be coming out about like that's on the series.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, when she announced the book release date, she also announced, it may be the day after, she announced that they're going to be doing a TV series with it.
They better do a really good job. I know that there was talk about a fourth wing.
There's been talk, and then there was talk that it was canceled, and now there's talk again about it.
It's kind of like a Harry Potter thing, you either got to do it real good or don't do it at all.
Yeah, I think Michael B. Jordan is involved in the fourth wing one.
I don't care who does it as long as it's so good. It needs to hit expectations because if you don't kill it in the first like episode or even the first like season, you won't get a second one and your viewers will destroy you.
Yeah, it's gonna turn into what happened with The Wheel of Time. Like they did 3 seasons. The second season wasn't great. The first season was very good. Second season wasn't great. Third season was amazing, but it got canceled.
I didn't even finish the third season because the second season was so bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. I guess that's it.
So as always, check us out on Instagram at Beyond the Pages with Sav and Sarah. Check out our website at beyondthepages.com. .ca, sorry. And remember, a book goes beyond its pages. Bye.
Bye.